So, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm 33 years old. I live in Columbus. I'm not originally from Columbus. My entire family lives in Arizona. Um, I'm currently married, but we're not living together right now. That's pretty recent. I have two daughters. One is 15 and one is 4. Um, I'm unemployed. Currently, I used to work at an insurance company, but they were cutting back workers a few years ago. So,
So, you've been unemployed for a few years now.
yeah, a few years. I've had a secretary job on and off, but it's not very consistent.
Okay, and you have 3 kids?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the separation from your husband.
Um, it was around the time of the birth of my middle daughter, who's 4 now. Um, that's when the arguing started. He didn't want to have. He only wanted one child. So when my second daughter, when we found out we were pregnant, again, he was not very happy, and we just continually fought. And pretty much right after she was born, he moved out.
Okay, so, and what happened? How did you react to him moving out? Any violence, drugs, alcohol?
Well, I've always, enjoyed my glass of wine at dinner, but then once he moved out, it got a little out of hand, and I had a newborn baby, and he was not around to help, and it just, things got out of control, and there was no one really there.
Seems like a pretty rough time. At what age did you start drinking?
Probably around, the beginning of high school. I might have been 15 or 16.
And did you drink a lot?
Yes, somewhat on the weekends, yeah, I guess.
Okay, and did this ever affect your marriage prior to you becoming pregnant with the child?
Yes and no. My husband always liked to drink also, and he was a lot of times the one out of control. So I was, used to dealing with him being drunk and out of control, but it was really only on the weekends that he knew how to hold his job down at the same time. So it was never really something I considered too much of a problem.
Has there ever been any violence, domestic violence with the children or you?
Never the children, but that I know of, I guess I should say. But we've gotten in some arguments that have turned physical.
And when was this?
It was around the time when he really wanted to move out, and I was trying to hold on to what we had, and it was not going to work, and I was grasping at it, and it wasn't there. And
So that was a pretty rough time.
yeah, it was a pretty dark time.
Were you drunk? Was he or you drunk during the fights?
Yeah, I was. He was almost always drunk when we started, falling off our marriage. That was when he started drinking during the week and on the weekends.
And how do you think this has affected your children?
I think it's affected them greatly. We have 3 children now. Our oldest daughter, she is about 18 years old, and she doesn't like being at home at all. So that's been difficult, and
That must be hard.
yeah.
Do you ever black out when you drink?
Yeah.
So are you around your children during this time?
Sometimes I try to. It gets complicated because I want to stay away from them when I'm drunk, but there's no one at home besides my 18-year-old, and with a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, you can't really.
It's hard to deal with by yourself.
Yeah.
So, do you have any family members that could possibly help you during this time that live around here?
Well, nearly all my family lives in Arizona. At one point, I was close with my husband's mother, but I haven't talked to her since he moved out.
So, do you talk to your husband anymore, or not at all?
Not really that much. The only time I really see him is when he comes by to take the kids somewhere.
So your children know about your drinking, do they?
Yeah, they know about it. My husband's mother knew that we're all close. Well, I was, but the kids and my husband are still close with his mother, and she's talked to them. She talked to them about it. I think it was like around last summer when I got into some trouble. They found out about it.
Got into some trouble?
Yeah, I got a DUI.
Do you do you drive when you drink often?
I try not to, and it's never been an issue. I've known, since I was little, you don't drink and drive, but it just, things get out of control and I forget what I always used to do.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever drink and drive with your children in the car?
No.
You don't?
I've never drank and driven with them.
That's good. You know that can affect them very badly.
Yeah.
And how does this make you feel, the way that your drinking is affecting your children, especially with your oldest daughter not ever wanting to be at home because of this? It's a problem?
Yeah, it's a definite problem, and I don't want especially the two younger ones, to grow up in this kind of environment, so I know something has to change. It's hard to make that happen.
Do you have any family history of alcoholism, any abuse in that regard?
Yeah. A lot of my uncles are alcoholics, recovered alcoholics. Never in my immediate family, so I guess I don't really have any, first-hand experience, but I've definitely heard about my family members, and I know that it runs in my family.
Have you ever considered getting help, or has anyone ever told you that you should or tried to make you?
No one really. I don't see my family that much because they're not around here, and I just don't want them to take my kids away.
Okay, yeah. So when you drink, how much do you drink?
Well, like I said, it started with, a couple harmless glasses of wine with dinner, but lately, I think one of the main changes that I've been turning to vodka, and, it's definitely turned to hard liquor.
Okay, so hard liquor and wine. Do you drink every day, or how often is this occurring?
Yeah, I would say I drink every day.
Do you start drinking in the morning?
It depends what kind of day I'm having, I guess. When things get out of control, especially the night before, then I'll wake up and I don't want to think about what happened the night before, so I want to start drinking.
Okay, well, it sounds like this is a problem and it's affecting your family negatively. And so would you be willing to get help for this?
Yeah, I would be willing to look into that.
Okay, good.